like it. Well,
So here's your really lovely place. You've been here for how long?
just over 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now here is a very exciting feature. It's your little puppy
My better half.
Rhino.
Get a shirt that says,
That's
"Who
sweet.
saved who?"
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, very sweet.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Michelle. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Michelle. Thank you so much for being willing to have this little chat with me up here in your apartment yet, which is very kind of you to have invited me up here to your place.
Definitely.
A cute, cute apartment.
It's something that I'm very, very proud of because for my whole life, since I was 13 years old when I moved out of my house, I survived by doing illegal things per se, like growing marijuana or different avenues like that. And everything that is in this home right now that you see, I have gotten legitly by myself. I've been single for 10 years. And I've got every little ornament, every little plant, everything you see. It's got a thing behind it, it's got a story behind it, and I'm very proud of it. Proud of myself, proud of my life, proud of everything. And if anything I can say during this interview that might help curb anybody or any kid or any teenager or young woman or anybody, curb them from not going down the road of any hard drugs or down the paths that I chose to go down. It's not all in vain at all.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Can we get an idea of what your childhood was like, where you grew up, and what life was like, and sort of what caused you to move out at 13?
Yeah. Well, I had 13 runaways by the time I was 13. I had a mother that worked in the psychiatric ward for 15 years. Then she was a director of a hospital somewhere for a very long time. I was a latchkey kid. I was sleeping alone at 6 years old. No one made me breakfast or lunch. I was going to kindergarten. But on my own, dressing myself, I would come home to an empty home as well. And then when there was somebody home, per se, I learned how to put a fork away without making a noise. It was constant walking on eggshells. My mom took off to become a doctor. My dad broke my tailbone and put it to my head when I was 6 years old. I didn't do anything that really, per se, anybody could perceive as a threat or why he would have done that. He was drinking upwards of a 40-pounder of Jack Daniels a day, though, and would have blackouts. And that the first time he ever hit me was when I was 6. And long story short, 4 days after that, my mom took off to Vancouver from Cranbrook, BC, where I was born and raised. In the Kootenays, my dad taught me how to tie flies, how to make bullets, because I was in the Rod and Gun Club. Very good morals and values, extremely good morals and values. He is my mom and my dad. He's sober now, and long story short, so was my mom. My dad was my mom's drug, per se, so my mom's sober now too. They've been together for 40 years though, and we sat at the table about 3 years ago and hashed everything out, because she's got a stage 3 brain tumor right now. And my dad's also sober, and there was a lot of sexual abuse, mental abuse, physical, emotional, anything, you name it. I had it happen to me. And then having a mom just abandon me for 15 years to go and become a doctor in Vancouver, and left me behind with this man that never had a sister, never been around girls. So I was his little boy growing up.
Okay, so that's your dad.
Yeah. And I love him very much to this day. He's my mom and my dad. He doesn't drink anymore.
Right.
And I'm a good person. I can honestly say I love myself on the inside. Up until a year ago, though, I would say I like myself on the inside, but on the outside, when I would walk around outside, say in Gastown or any area, when I would look up into people's eyes, the first thing I would think is, they know I'm a junkie, they know I'm a whore, they know all my biggest fears. So, what you think is what you portray in life. I study probably about an hour to 3 hours a day on CBT behaviors, cognitive behavioral therapy, and Albert Elliott, and just thought pattern changing. And growing up in such a dysfunctional home, I didn't know back 5 years ago what normal is or what it should be. And so I started to go into books, and I wanted to know why I did the things I did. Why did my dad do the things he did? Why did my mom, being the head of the psychiatric board, teaching classes on anger management, teaching classes on communication, and having a husband at home that is beating and abusing her child every way from Sunday. And anyways,
And she knew that?
Yeah, she did. Yes, she did. And that's another thing that to this day I still don't understand. I question. They've been married for 40 years and they still sleep in the same bed together, but they love to hate each other and hate to love each other in the same breath. But still, if I am a mom, I could not sleep in the same bed with a man that abused my child. I don't care who he was or what he did. There's no way. So I have a bit of, still don't know how to comprehend that or understand that, but my family has sure come a long ways from where we were at. I had 13 runaways before 13 years old.
Wow.
There were numerous times I would run away from my house because my dad would be hurting my mom, so I would intervene, jump in, and get him to get mad at me rather than my own mom that was only 98 pounds. And I would go to school with bruises on my face, on my head, because he would do things like that. You're a follower. He didn't understand that little girls like sugar and spice and everything nice. He thought that I should just be this, do that, and when I didn't, it really upset him. And my mom wouldn't let him discipline me either. And she also wouldn't believe him when he said, she's smoking cigarettes. And my mom said, no, she's not. That's not my daughter. She would never smoke cigarettes. He called a spade a spade. He knew who I was, what I was, before I was even 10 years old, what I would be like. And long story short, I always thought he was just a mean, angry giant that used to chase me out of the house while I was running in bare feet, terrified. I mean, coming home from school at 8 years old with consistent nosebleeds because of anxiety attacks at 8 years old, and coming home and not knowing whether I was going to get beaten or who knows what was going to happen.
You didn't have any other siblings?
No, I was an only child growing up. So I learned how to drive a 3 in the tree in a standard vehicle at 6 years old because I'd go get cords of wood with my dad, and I was in the Rod and Gun Club too. There you go, he dropped it. Okay, yeah, no, if you want to ask a question or whatever. Actually, that's the first chihuahua I had that died in my arms at Crab Park. He was 16 years old. He's the reason why I quit crack cocaine, actually. I did it every day for 10 years, and I'm not talking $50 worth a day. Somewhere from $300 to $1,000 worth a day. But there is one thing I can say to that. I never stole even a quarter, 10 cents, or food off of anybody or anyone to support my habit. My father raised me with good morals and good values, and so as a result, I ended up becoming an escort at 17 years old for the high-end escort agency here in downtown Vancouver, and made $5,000 on my first call, and I didn't even have to do anything except for go on a yacht.
5,000? Whoa.
Yeah, for half an hour. And listen to Snoop Doggy Dogg and go on a yacht, and I was with another woman and didn't have to physically do anything, and we each got handed $3,000 at the end, and that was fun for the first little bit. That was fun. But it doesn't matter what any girl says that you may speak to or see. Nobody wakes up any morning and says, today I think I'll wake up and I'll go be a hooker on the side of the street and get pennies thrown at me, or be called a hooker when people drive by and I've met girls that have had tomatoes thrown in their face. I've met girls that have been, especially in the past year, all these bad drugs going around, I'm somewhat of a mom to all the young ladies around here because I stopped working on the streets well over 5 years ago. Because I've been clean for over 10 years now.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, but in the past year, 80% of them have gone missing. And what's going on is there's either overdoses or there's this new thing that has been invented that they can throw it up in the air. It's the size of a piece of salt, and they throw it up, and you get one whiff of it up your nose. You pass out for 48 hours. You black out. You can walk and talk. You can't remember the past 48 hours. And I've run into at least 30 girls out of 40 in the past month that have had this done to them, and wake up in the alleys with their panties down around their ankles. And the police will tell them that their hands are tied and they can't do anything to help them. If they have more evidence or something, they can help them a bit more. But also because they do drugs, things won't hold up in a court of law.
Right.
So it's kind of a catch-22. So half the things that people think they know about on any of us, they really don't, because the statistics are a lot worse than anybody could ever imagine that are being reported by the news or the mayor or anybody. This true statistics come from us, the ones that live down here in the war zone. I mean, I came down here at 24 years old to die. I rolled a vehicle 12 times and took out 2 telephone poles. And yeah, you know, people don't normally make it through 1 pole. I made it through 2 outside of Mission, and I died 10 times, shattered my pelvis, punctured my lungs, broke my back in 4 places, and was in a coma for 10 days, and woke up at 24 years old in diapers, and being told that I might never walk again, and I might be paralyzed from the neck down. And long story short, here go I, because of a higher power. I'm not sure what or who, or I just say thank you. Every day I wake up, I say thank you 5 times automatically. Every day I wake up before I do anything, whether it be for toilet paper, whether it be for my dog, whether it be for my new job. First time I've had a legit job in my entire life, and I'm 47 years old.
What is your job? You don't have to say.
I work for Mission Possible.
Okay.
Yeah. But it means the world to me because I've never collected a normal paycheck because of my past. I never felt like I deserved to be part of normal society. I always felt judged, like I was saying earlier on. When I would walk down the street, every person that looked at me and I saw them look at me, I would assume they knew I was a whore. They thought I was a junkie. And every time I go into a store, that's how I feel I'm treated. And pretty much every other girl or active addict I've ever met says the same thing. They feel mistreated. And I think the biggest thing that anybody can pull away from any of this is when they have the tour buses or the people that drive down Hastings from Main and Hastings to Cordova or Abbott and Hastings, and they have cameras out or their eyeballs are pierced up against the windows, and they see the person that's doing what you would call the Hastings shuffle. They didn't choose to do that. They're doing that because that's their way of escaping the pain that they have been put through and that they had no choice of until they were 18. Yeah, to just to survive, just to be able to breathe. I wanted to die. I was a walking corpse for 25 years. I just wanted to die, but I didn't have enough guts to do it myself. And thank God there is people out there that, I mean, yes, I was doing drugs and I had no food or I had no money or I had no cigarettes, and there's people out there that work very hard for a living, that have families, that have children they need to feed. But the one person that stopped and handed me a $20 bill, or the one person that stopped and just said, "Can I give you a hug?" it saved my life. I mean, yeah, I might have went and spent that $20 on drugs, but you know what? Sorry, that $20 was a reprieve for me to be able to buy what I needed and not have to sell my soul to the devil. To have a reprieve.
Yeah.
Right? And until what was my waking moment? For me, when I got clean, believe it or not, I went to 21 treatment centers. I have one boy and one girl that still won't talk to me to this day because they don't understand why I left them when they were younger. They think I left them to go party and get high. I left them because I wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend. I wasn't allowed to say the word no to my husband. I did homework with every child every night. I had 3 stepchildren and 2 of my own biological children. Freshly baked goods on the counter every day. 21 people over for Christmas. I loved it. I thrived in it. Every child was in sports. They weren't just in sports. I was in the sport with them. Either you pick it or I'll pick it for you. But the long story short of it was, the man I met was paying our way with drug money. And so that was against my morals and values. So I was having that inner turmoil as well. And long story short, like I said, I wasn't allowed to say the word no. He paid the bills. He would give me $1,000 to go to Costco. But friends I had for 15 years would come and give me a hug. He would find out about it. They would for 2 weeks. Like, my best friend of 10 years, she went to the bar one night and was telling me about it at the kitchen table, and he grabbed her by her hair, and this was after we were married, and he said, "You are no longer allowed to be seen with my wife. She has my name, and you will not put my name through the dirt." And that was the last time I saw my best friend, or my only friend in my life. And then also, my son was born. He wasn't away from me for more than 2 seconds until he was 6 years old. We were together when I went to the bathroom. We were together when I had a shower. I was not allowed to go to the store alone. I was not allowed to have my cell phone. I was not allowed to go anywhere without having a child with me. And I remember sitting him down, and I was like super mom times 10, and I loved it with every fiber in my being. I loved being a mom, but I didn't like the fact that I would say, "Can I have one night every 3 months where I get a hotel room and I just get the room just to myself, just to watch movies all night long? I don't even know what I want to do. I just want one night every 3 months." And he wouldn't do it for me. And so what we got into is the same relationship my mom and dad got into. Was he would be super dad for 3 months and then take off for 3 days. So I would be super mom, make up for the 3 days I was gone, then take off for 3 days. And eventually it got to the point where my husband was almost abusive. He was. And I remember him dragging me down the hallway. There was my 13-year-old standing there. There was another one standing there. He was 8, my daughter was 7, and he was 6. And he was dragging me down the hallway, and I could feel the blood running down my face. And he dragged me into the bedroom. And that was the day that I left, and I never went back. I didn't take a purse. I didn't take bra. I didn't take anything, and I was living a very medium class to high class life. And I moved out, and I had to go into the underground and hide for 2 years. I had to change my name, change my hair, lose contact with my own mother, everybody, in order to be alive. Because he'd break apart $100 bills to find me. Say, "If you find her, tell me where she is, I'll give you the other half." So I literally had to hide for a lot of years.
Oh, and now you don't have to.
No.
Do you stop having to hide
No,
after a
no.
while?
It's been about 20 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So times have changed a lot, but you're not talking to your kids right now.
No, because he told them that I left because I wanted to party and do drugs and get high and party. Okay. And to be honest with you, the reason that I did drugs was because I missed my children every day.
And
so
all the
bad
childhood
that
stuff too.
I could not function without them.
Mm-hmm.
And I only did drugs. And also I was used to medium class, high class living, so that's how the escort agency came in.
Right.
Right? Because the money felt right. I felt normal. I felt like who I was before. And I tried to get back together with my husband, who remarried behind my back and lied to me. The children still don't know any of this to this point. I tried to go to court, get custody, part-time custody of my son. I just want to see him once in a while. And I was told that I would go fishing, go be with the fishes. So,
Right.
yeah. And it's...
Do you know where your children live? Like
Yeah,
town or...
I know my son wants to become a police officer. I'm very proud of him. He still to this day doesn't understand what happened. He just knows, and when he sees my mom and I are like twins. When he sees my mom, he doesn't understand. It's going right up here, please. Get this. What's this? He knows I'm not paying attention to him. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited, that's why.
That's totally understandable.
But anyways, through all that rigmarole, I became a full addict because that was the way I compensated not being a mom. That was the only reason why I became an addict, and that hurt so bad to hear that my children hate my guts because they assume that I was out there just partying and having fun, when every day of my life I hated my skin, I hated who I was, I hated every part of my body. I just did not want to be anymore. And that's why I came down here, especially after I became paralyzed in a wheelchair at 24 years old.
Oh, wow. How long did it take you to recover from that state?
I still
Like,
am,
to-
because that wasn't the only car accident I purposely went into. I had 3 car accidents, and I re-broke my back again in another car accident when the car flipped. And I actually wasn't driving, I was with an abusive person that planned on killing me and then killing himself. And then I was with another man that held my mom and dad hostage at gunpoint with my daughter as well, and told them that he was doing it because I owed $10,000, where anybody that has ever met me in my life, including my ex-husband, knows I have never stolen 10 cents. I have never met... You couldn't pay me $1 million to owe anybody even 10 cents. So, but he is the one that flipped the car that broke my back, so he knew I got $30,000. So that's why he went to my mom and dad's. He thought my daughter was me. That's how messed up he was. And he wanted 10,000 of those dollars because he figured they were his. Because it was his car, his doing, so he wanted half the money. And he told my daughter it was because I owed AJ $10,000. To this day, she still thinks that she got tied up at 13 years old because I owed money. That is not the case. And you know what? She probably won't know until the day after I've died or my son. All I can do today is live with my head held high, knowing that I am clean now. It was really not easy at all. Every day I fight. I live behind in the dirtiest alley in all of Vancouver. I lived in the dirtiest hotel down here for 4 years, where multiple rapes and deaths, and Ethiopia would look like heaven compared to where I live. And I finally got to move in here. I'm very, very grateful. And I'm very grateful everything is bought legitly without a man. I've been single for 10 years now. This is my man. This is my friend. The only friend I have. And when I walk down the street now, I don't want to crawl out of my skin anymore. When I walk down the street now, I try every day I do something with my life that makes me better as a person that day and helps someone in the community. And why do I do it? because they say you only get back what you put into life. That's not why I do it. I do it because I want to show any young ladies out there, the toughest ladies out there, the toughest men out there, that you can change. No matter what has happened to you, you have the power to change, but you have to want to do it yourself, not for your mom, not for your dad, not for your kids. You have to want to do it for you. And that's easier said than done when you hate every part of your body. So.
And you did it.
Yeah, and I am doing it, and I've been sober for well over 10 years, and I remember everyone saying if you get 1 year sober, you can see your kids. It's been 10 years now. And you know what? All I can do is leave a legacy behind of when they do hear about me that your mom was a really nice person. Your mom would give everybody the last sandwich she had, even if they beat her up the day before. She'd still give that person her only sandwich.
What do you think about the idea that they might see this video?
I don't know. Their father is the best father they could have ever had. I have no ill towards my ex-husband. He was a wonderful dad. He was a wonderful husband. Just very 50s style. And I just don't want them to be mad at him in any way. That's all I don't want. I just want, if, like my mom says to them, if your mom had to become an addict to go through everything she went through, so you guys didn't become addicts, she would do it again. And she's very right. I have anything you can think of, gang rapes, you think it, I've had it done to me. But you know what? I'm not a victim. I don't try and play the martyr. I don't try and make people feel sorry for me. All I can say is I'm alive and I'm here and I'm happy and I love my life. And just knowing that my son wants to become a police officer, knowing that my daughter has 2 kids and she is a mom, just that's enough for me to know.
Do your kids talk to your parents?
They do now, but my daughter would not talk to my mom if she found out my mom was talking to me. Right on.
Oh, I see.
So my mom actually had pictures of me up on the wall, and as a result, my daughter would not let her see the grandchildren. And my mom has minimal years to live. So I said to my mom, I called her up, and that is how I know I've grown up. I said, Mom, go and take all of my pictures down, take my trophies down, because you know what? It's okay. If that's where she's at, that's where she's at. One day she'll come around. It might not be when I'm alive or you're alive, because right now there's 4 generations of us alive.
Right.
And I said, one day she will, but why upset the pot? You need to see your grandchildren. So, just, it doesn't mean you don't love me. It doesn't mean you're trying to hide me. It just means she's really hurt and is confused. And hurt people want to hurt other people. And so I've been able to take a step back and just say, just take them down. Don't bring my name up. Just enjoy your grandchildren and enjoy your great-grandchildren while you can. You know? So, yeah.
That is so much you've been through. So much pain and hurt. It's hard to even...
You haven't even heard
Can't even say the words
10% of
for
it. You haven't even heard 10% of it. And you know what? It made me who I am today. And I can honestly say that I'm a very good person and I love myself. And I have excellent, great morals and values because of a great mom and dad. Yes, they were dysfunctional when I grew up, but they also had dysfunctional parents when they grew up.
So there's parts of your childhood that were great, but there's a lot of painful parts too.
Yes. And you know what? You could choose to look at all the bad, or you could choose to find that one time we went to the water slides and my mom laughed at my dad. Like, you are responsible for the way that you look at life. Nobody else is. Once you turn 18, you're an adult. And that's when you choose your addiction or you choose how you live. You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, but yeah, other than that, the only reason I said that I would do this today is not for my kids, not for myself, not for hope somebody will see it, that to get my kids. It's just in hopes that if I can help detour one little girl or one mom or aunt or sister or people out there that aren't addicts, if it can help them to understand that the next time they drive by a hooker or the next time they see someone breaking into a car, that they're doing it out of a place that's great pain. They don't wake up and say, hey, I think I'm gonna break into this truck tonight because I want to. They're doing it to support their habit. And why are they doing their habit? To numb. So what's the answer?
Yeah. It's all around quite tragic.
Patience. It's all about people being patient, understanding, but also not being vulnerable, not putting themselves. If you take a kid to a candy store, the kid's going to want candy. So yes, you can still take them there, but also know in the same breath that that kid's going to steal candy the minute your back is turned. Right? But that doesn't make them a bad child. That just makes their behaviors bad. And that goes for a 36-year-old, 54-year-old, or an 80-year-old to this day. For me, anyways. Just one other thing. I've met over 3,000 people in the 20 years I've lived down here. Not one person has not ripped me off, stolen from me, or lied. Not one of them.
Everyone has ripped you off and lied to you?
Out of
That
over
you
3,000.
thought was a friend or an acquaintance or just
And all
a
I've
neighbor
ever
or
done
anybody?
is feed people, try and help them. And you know what? Everybody else I've met gets hard. They get mean. They get hard. They get angry. And you know what? I swear I'll never get hard. I don't care. It's just the way that I am. I don't know how to explain it yet because I'm still understanding it myself. I just know that if somebody ripped me off the day before and I had a sandwich and they were starving, I would give them half my sandwich.
It's remarkable. You've got a very kind heart, obviously.
Yeah. So, whenever, if I can make somebody smile or someone have a second thought about that lady or that man is somebody's son, uncle, cousin, boyfriend, anything, nephew, and a smile can help somebody sometimes.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Everybody just wants to know that there's somebody cares. Just a hi, even when you see a vendor, someone begging for money. You don't even have to give them money. Just say hi to them. Go out of your way to say, I don't have money to give you, but hi.
Yeah.
And you matter. You know what? That'll mean more than $100. You know?
That's really important for us to hear.
Yeah. So, I don't know other than that, but...
Well, thank you so much for sharing all these painful parts of your life.
It is,
and you shared
but
some good things too, and your gratitude, which is remarkable.
Yeah.
All things considered, and you like your job now, you love your place.
Yes. Yeah,
and got these good things, and maybe have some hope for some other things.
We have extreme, tremendous hope.
Other things will work out with your family and
they
such,
are,
your
no,
kids.
yeah, they are. They are, and like I said, if it doesn't, and it's after I pass away, they will get to hear what I left behind.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm okay with that today. If that's the way it's got to be, it's the way it's got to be. Can't change the past.
Very nice to meet you again, to come into your home. Really appreciate it, and your hospitality, and
no problem.
Just a willingness for all this. And I just hope, of course, very good things for you, and that all your hopes come true.
They will, and they are. It's all I gotta do the footwork, so, and I am, and I will. So thank you very much.